it's going to be a challenge for them to deal in a one-on-one or even worse, a two-on-one conflict against Israel and the United States. This was to be expected. The Iranians had a long lead time. They certainly must have anticipated that the possibility of a U.S. or Israeli attack was high, and targeting nearby U.S. facilities is not too challenging. They've had plenty of time to map the location, to aim their systems and so on. It'll be much harder for them to try and attack an aircraft carrier or other moving object. But for now, I think this is what we thought would occur. It fits in with their military capabilities and political military strategy of trying to escalate the conflict by getting other countries involved so that they could help stop it. Well, the Iranians know that it's going to be a challenge for them to deal in a one-on-one or even worse, a two-on-one conflict against Israel and the United States. So their strategy clearly is to pull other countries into the conflict. Israel, of course, but also U.S. Gulf partners and allies. And this is thought as a means to get these leaders to intervene with the White House to call for an early end to the conflict. So I think that's the basic strategy of the Iranians. They have capabilities to attack these targets, but they also are well defended. And so I think this will probably continue for the duration, but the intensity may slacken over time. Yeah, that's a challenge. From what we heard from President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu today, it sounds like their goal is regime change. So that would mean the war would continue until presumably the Iranian people manage to seize control of the government away from the clerical regime and establish their own. And that we just can't predict when or if that will occur. I think the key thing actually is the asset that's not there. So in past major military operations in the Middle East, such as the two wars against Iraq, there was a substantial buildup of ground forces. And this is often thought to be, critical for any long-term operation. It can't just be air campaign. It has to include a ground component. Sometimes it can be a local ground component. That's what the U.S. did in Afghanistan with taking advantage of the Northern Alliance. But here, it's all air and missile strikes, and the hope is that the Iranian people will, in effect, become the ground force. So that's what struck me, is this the reliance very much on air power and not without a major ground component.